Okay, so we're going to go through and we're going to take a look at CAD and what that does for us in EMS reports. So we're going to go from the dashboard to incidents, this little tab right here, and then to create new EMS from CAD. Okay, remember if we go to create new EMS on this one, the upper version, it's going to be completely blank. But we want to draw one from MFD EMS version 1. So what you'll see here is the most recent CAD incidents. You'll have your call sign in this column and then the address here. You'll see that, like this one right here, 131 was dispatched to 1840 South Higgins. So if you want to start that report, you go through and you click this little button right here. That'll download it for you. If you scroll through, and you'll also see, like, here's an example of a 2-engine response. We're unaware of what this call is because we're in the EMS portion. Both engines do not need to fill out this report. Whoever decides to fill out the report, whether that's initial engine arriving, which is how it typically is, that's who's going to be the person doing this report. So let's say we are going to select this one, 131 went to 1420 Jackson. We're going to click that button, and then it's going to go through and download. Okay, once you go through and you download an incident from CAD on the image trend platform, you're going to see this screen. And although we're not going to go through and fill out a full report at the moment, there are some things that I want you to be aware of. So up at the top, there's save. You can click that every time you change or every time you move. It should auto-save and update as well as you're going through and inputting information. There's a print button. There's a PDF button that would export all the details that we have listed in this report for any other patients that come and request it. Remember, that has to be approved. There's a CAD button, which if you didn't download your data, you can go through and download it again or reload the current. There's an EKG from the Physio Cloud Control. We're going to talk about that later too when we go and actually do the patient assessment. And there's messages. So in this message, if this has been flagged for CQI or someone sends it back for you to go through and correct, there'll be a message here with a little flag on it for you to go through, and you can read the messages and then come back in here and fix the report. Over here on the left side, you'll see a whole bunch of panels. These all have different drop downs that go through and open when you start to fill out this report. You can access these by the left side, or you can click next and it'll bring you to the next page. Everything in red are things that we need to go through and complete. So you can click on this little exclamation point right here, and it says dispatch reason is a mandatory field at error 745. That has to be filled in for this report to be complete. If we look down at the bottom, we see that it has a 64 validation. So if I go ahead and click that, these are all the different points and all the different things that we have to have for the minimum nearest and minimum EMS standards for it to be sent to the feds, the state, and to NEMSIS. So we want to get that to 100%. So you can see if I go through and I say we have a sick person, that was 1 point. That gets us back up a little higher. Over here is the timeline. Once you download stuff from the monitor, this will automatically populate inside your timeline. It'll tell you when the device was turned on, when vitals were done. Anytime that you have events from the monitor, that'll also show up on here that we'll need to go through and correct as well. On this side are power tools. We're going to dive into those a little deeper when we do a full patient report. But for an example, we can click on here. If we did an assessment of the skin, I can click this and I can say normal or clammy or something, whatever all other findings we go through and do, and this is for the full body assessment. There's things for airway, there's exams that are completed, GCS score, IV stuff, as well as meds down here and med devices. You can utilize these to the best of your ability. It's going to be either utilizing this or utilizing this patient assessment and provider actions tool. They both are the same thing. Over here, as well as worksheets, and you can see that we have the state strangulation one. So if you have the iPad on scene and someone was strangulated, then strangled, yeah, someone was strangled, you can go through and fill this out basically on scene and not miss any of those questions if you have that information with you. The next video we'll go through and dive into actually writing a report.